so today I am at the grocery store. I am going to go on a 6, 7 week high protein, low carb, low carb, low caloric diet. But the protein is going to be the kicker because I have to have like a lot of grams of protein per day. And so now I am headed to, so far in my basket, let me show you what I got in my basket. Like I'm gonna do a whole food haul when I go home. But for the most part though, this is what this is. Today is a Monday. Initially I said I was gonna start it yesterday because it's gonna go until April 1st. So I want to be ready for the summer because then in May I'm going to do a fast after I get done with this protein to kind of reset my body or whatever, because I'm really trying to bulk this year. And when I say bulk, I don't mean bulk from a perspective of gaining weight. I just want to take what I already have and turn it more into a muscle mass. You know what I mean? And so yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to bulk and cut more. And so that's what we're going to be doing this year, or should I say this particular season, until we go into the April-May time frame. And so that way, yeah, I'll be ready because, yeah, I want to do something different this year. So we're going to see how this looks. So I had my girl ChatGPT to put together a calorie plan for me, or should I say a meal plan, a shopping plan. So she's done all that. So right now I'm just going to get the rest of what I need, and so that way I'll have everything. And so yeah, we'll see from there. Okay, so yeah, all right. Then when I get home I'll do a whole grocery haul, and then I'll talk about the breakdown in terms of how many grams of each and how they suggested for my weight, because at this point I'm trying to lose about 10 pounds, and so that leads me to lose about a pound and a half to 2 pounds a week. And so we'll see how this does. Okay, all right, I'll come back later. Bye. Hello and welcome to another episode of Hood Parenting. I am Yashika, also known as Fairy Godmother, honey. Come on in here. Listen, so this week I am going to do something a little different, okay? So now let me tell y'all how we got here. Now, I am a woman of a certain age, okay? I'm a woman of a certain age. I will be 53 next month. And so we are now in February of 2026, and today's date is the 16th of February, which is when I will, where I'm starting this process to this day. But I had to go and get a few more things. And so this is where I'm coming in. So look, y'all, what I've noticed is that the older I get, the more and more I'm losing muscle. And I know that sometimes I do it to myself because there's times where I will go on a cleanse or fast or something like that. And so normally I do that around the May time frame. I don't know what it is with me and that whole time of year when we go into the springtime. But for whatever reason, that's when my skin is the most glowing. That's when I drop all that winter weight, because y'all know, I gain weight in the wintertime, okay? So I started to drop all that winter weight. And so sometimes I'll do these things because I want to make sure that I feel comfortable, for the summer, right? And I don't want to be all fluffy and pulling on everything. And so, but what I notice is that once I do things like that, or even just, restricted eating in a way, when I lose weight, I'm losing more muscle than anything else. So this time, what I want to do is this. I want to build more muscle. Now, I'm naturally a muscle, I'm pretty muscular in terms of my strength, but I do have fat on top of muscle, or muscle on top, whatever it is. And so I want to start cutting more. Okay, I want to start cutting because I can see because I used to power lift when I was younger. And so because of it, my body really does hold a lot of fat and muscle because, in order to really power lift, you have to have that bulk behind you. And a lot of times power lift and bulk doesn't come from just muscle. You have to have that, if you look at power lifters, like people that do snatch weights and things like that, they're a combination of fat and muscle. And so that's pretty much the way my body is. And that's the way that, I was really good for that. Well, I want to kind of change that. And so I have 50 days. I'm going to go on a 50-day restriction, meaning, and when I say restriction, no carbs, no sugars. And if it's carbs, healthy carbs, no sugars, just really, really high protein, low carb, right? And so I'm going to do it for 50 days. And the way that I'm going to do it is I am going to break it down where I'm going to tell you guys about it. So by the time I post this video, I will already be a few days into it. And so I want to go ahead and start, because here's the thing. We got a girls trip coming up in April, and I really want to start cutting. And so not only for that, but I am trying to see if I can mentally do this myself first, because eventually I want to hire a trainer, because I do want to do some competitions, right? Some IFA commerce, some, fitness competitions or whatever. And so before I hire that, I want to see how much discipline do I have on my own. You go out here and you spend all this money, and if you're not disciplined, it's like, why do it, right? And so so I want to do this 50-day. It's going to be 50 days. And so the way I'll do it is I'll tell you guys how I'm going. So when I get started, right? So today is technically my day one. And well, it is my day one. And then I'll do day 25, and then I'll come back and do the day after it ends. So that should be the 7th of April if I do it the way I'm supposed to do it, right? And then our trip starts on the 9th. And so I'll be able to post that video before I leave, and the whole 9 yards. And so, yeah. And so I want to just show you guys some things that I put together. Now, what I will say is I didn't hire anybody for this. What I did was I went to my girl Yasmin. Okay. Now, if you don't know who Yasmin is my chat GPT. Okay. Now, I told her what I wanted. I explained to her how much I weighed. I explained to her how much weight I wanted to lose. I told her what my goal is. I want high protein, low carb, because I want to build muscle. I explained to her, that the trip was coming up. Let her know how often I work out. And then just tell me what else I need to know. And so once she did that, she'd say, okay. And I said, I want a plan. And these are the foods that I like to eat. And so I explained to her the fruits, the vegetables, and the meat source that I like to eat. And, things that I typically buy, things that my daughter eats. And so that way I don't have to be so separate. Now, do I have to sometimes restrict what I put on it in terms of seasoning? Absolutely. But for the most part, she eats salmon, I eat salmon, right? So, the way the air fryer is, I can put seasonings on one part and put non-seasoning on the other part. Real simple, right? And so it's just one of those things where I did it that way because I don't want anything that's complicated. Because once it starts to be really complicated, then I get in thought. And then if it's not working and I feel like I'm doing a lot, then I quit, right? Because I'm like, that's too much. And I'm not seeing the results, and I got to, and I know that's me. And so, because, I'm removed from the military a long time. And so, yeah, I've been out in these streets for myself about 10 years now, doing whatever I want to do. So I want to show the things that I bought today from the store. All right. So today, and I'm going to rearrange the camera. All right. So make sure to get 2 different types of greens, because this is the one that I'll do like a my lunch, because my lunch will be some type of green salad. Always, always, always. And then I also got the spinach because that way I can put it inside of this stir fry that I like to do. So that's that. So I got those. And then I got a head of cabbage, which is going to be amazing. Okay, because what I do, and I have a lot of stuff already in the refrigerator, but what I like to do is I like to take this cabbage and all of the colors of bell peppers. So I have an orange and a red, and then I get me a green one. Now, I bought a green one as well today, as soon as I could find it. And I know I have one in there also already somewhere. Anyway, I get a green bell. I got a green bell pepper somewhere. I do. Oh, here we go. Green bell pepper. And then I also have a yellow one in the refrigerator. So I get these, okay? I get these 3 different bell peppers along with this juicy big old cabbage. All right. I put some, I like to get these mushrooms because I love me some good old shiitake mushrooms. So I just bought these mushrooms as well. And so this is a blend of cremini mushroom, shiitake, and oyster mushrooms. And so I put this in this as well with this, you know, the cabbage and everything. And then I put some spinach in there. Now, I blend all this up. Then, of course, you know, I put some garlic up in there. I put all kind of seasonings. Now, the challenge is going to be is that I can't put the butters in there. Okay, now, normally when I make this, okay, this stir fry, baby, when I tell you I put some butter up in there, okay, I put some olive oil up in there. I put all the things that we ain't supposed to have, some salt. So I got to take all that out. Now, what I will be adding in there is some turkey bacon. So I'm going to, you know, grill up or put in the air fry a couple pieces of turkey bacon. And I'll put it in there because you can eat this as a meal. And then you can also add the raw shrimp to it. So this is a whole meal by itself, or you could shred up some beef and use its own broth, right? Use the own broth that you get from everything, stir frying it, and make like a soup, and it could be like a whole Japanese soup, baby. When I tell you, it's the best. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do with that. Now, I also got at the store, if you not know about a turnip root, I love me a good old turnip root. Now, back in the day, I used to do no carb, you know, the Atkins and when they, you know, all that. So, of course, I needed me a way to eat some potatoes or something that was filling. And so I became familiar with turnip root. Now, back then, of course, with the Atkins, you can eat all kind of butter. So, again, I'm going to have to figure out a way to eat this turnip root just like all these other vegetables without adding all that butter and olive oils and stuff in there, okay? I'm going to have to... It's going to be a challenge. I already know it's going to be a challenge, but we're going to do this, okay? We're going to do this for 50 days, okay? 50 days, and this is where I'm going to be held accountable, all right? I'm going to take some pictures. Okay, what I'm going to try to do is take pictures every 5th day. So that means when I'm done, I should have 10 pictures. So when I come back on day 25, I will be able to show 5 pictures. Okay, so I have to take a picture every 5th day because I don't think you know, you can do the everyday picture. I don't care. But for me, it's going to be every 5th day. All right, just so I can see. And then I'm going to do the whole weigh with those pictures, like what I weigh that day, the whole 9 yards. Right. But anyway, this turnip root, you can make it like a potato. You can literally, whatever you do to a potato, you can mash it, you can boil it, you can do whatever, and you can eat it the same way. So this is really good, and it's high in fiber. It's the root of the turnip. So when a turnip green grows up, this is where it buds from. And so they cut off the turnip green, but then you can still eat the bud of the turnip. And so it's a vegetable. And so if you're not familiar with it, right, get you some, put you some onions in there, and you eat it just like some bell pepper and onion with potatoes, okay? Now, you put that up in there with some bell pepper. Like I said, you can get you some onions and bell pepper, a good old red onion. Put it up in there, baby, and eat good on that, okay? Now, I did get that. Other things that I bought to include, like I said, a lot of stuff I already got, but I just want to show you my haul that I got today starting for this stuff. Now, the only thing I'm going to meal prep is the vegetables, simply because I got to make a big pot of it. But the meat, because I'm using my air fryer, unless I'm cooking a steak, I don't need to pre-cook it because I can cook it 12 minutes in the air fryer, and I like it to be fresh instead of reheated. So I did get some zucchinis and some squash, all right? Got zucchinis and squash. So I'm going to put that together, and I think I'm going to use these bean sprouts with it. So I'm going to add all these together, as well as these alfalfas, right? So that's how that's going to be. And so I got all these things today. Now, that was that. And I also got some white mushrooms. Now, these are really good to add into any type of stir fry or whatever. You can add it with anything. It's really good, especially in cabbage, right? Because a lot of times you could use a mushroom in place of a meat. So when you're cooking like a stir fry or something, you could add it and you don't even really need the meat in there. And so it's one way to just cut back. And so I bought them because they were on sale because, I figure I'll figure out a way to go through them. So when I cook like my eggs and things like that, you can add mushrooms, to the breakfast sandwiches or to the breakfast stir fries or to the omelets, whatever you're going to cook for the morning time. So you can definitely add this. Okay, now I got a lot of broccoli in the refrigerator and things like that. Now, also what I bought, can't do nothing without having yourself some good old avocado. Okay, so this is a healthy fat. Now, she don't really tell me to eat any of this, but I know I'm going to incorporate it. So because I need fat. I need fat. Sometimes I'm going to get it from there as well as from the salmon. So I got avocado. That was something else I purchased today. And in terms of my fruit, the only fruit that I got was berries. So I got strawberries, blackberries, and somewhere I got some raspberries. Oh, here we go. I got some raspberries. Okay, so these are the only fruit that I have because they're low in glycemic. They don't raise your blood pressure too high because when you start eating bananas and all that other stuff was high in sugar, So yeah, so I got the berries. That's the only berries I got for my seasonings, or should I say my ingredients? Because I needed some extra. I got some more minced garlic, right? And I also got some parsley. Okay, but then I also got me a big old bag of garlic because when you're making these stir fries, baby, when I tell you add this with some, baby, it's just good. And garlic is good for you, cleanse you out. It does all the things. Okay, it's good helps with inflammation, all the things, right? So now for my snack or something like that, I have my protein ciabattas. Or Chobani yogurts. Now these are high in protein. Now because I need the protein. Now another thing that I'll also probably put in here as a snack is some almonds, some slithered almonds that I have in the refrigerator or in the cabinet, and make a snack out of it. Now, let me say this: there's gonna be days that I'm gonna forego this yogurt. Why? Because I have a 12-year-old. And so I already know I'm going to want some wine from time to time. Yes, I am. So I need to be able to incorporate that because I don't know if I can be restricted for 50 days. Not this go around. Okay, maybe next time. Okay, but not this go around. Okay, because we're going through some trying times over here. We're going through some trying times. So I know I'm not going to be able to forego wine this go around. So we're going to have to try next go around. Okay, now I got this. When I do want a snack or some sweet, if I ain't drinking wine. Now, when I drink wine, then I don't eat nothing sweet because that's what's sweet. That's enough sugar. Okay. Now, for my meat, I have some tilapia already in the refrigerator or in the freezer. I have some chicken breasts already in the freezer. So I needed some more salmon. So I got salmon, and of course I got the shrimp. Okay. And then I also got me 2 steaks. Okay, now they were on sale, $10 a piece. I hope I got them for $10 a piece. Okay, I hope I did. I need to check my receipt. Okay, now these are about 4 or 5 servings altogether because I can't eat the whole thing. I'll cut it probably in a third or something like that. And yeah, so when I cook these, I'll cook one at a time and probably have it for, so this is probably enough for 2 weeks almost. All right. And then, of course, I got egg whites. Now I got a whole 18 count egg in the refrigerator, but I needed egg whites because again I need the extra protein. All right, the egg whites give. And speaking of protein, I got me some Jocko. Now my friend told me about this because I don't like a lot of protein powders because I don't like the chalky taste and all that kind of stuff. But again, I need to have the protein. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, because it's best not to put it in milk because it cuts into my calorie count. Yes, I have almond milk. Yes, I have 2%, things like I can get, that. But, again, you want to kind of save your calories. And so we're going to figure this out. First, I'm going to try it with some water. And if that don't do, baby, then I'm going to try it with water and milk. And then if that don't do, then I'm just going to go with some milk, some almond milk, okay? Now that's that, some Jocko, okay, for the protein. Okay, now, also, I need to have something else to drink aside from water, okay? I like to have something else to drink aside from water. And so I also have my my Alani's or my Blooms or my Celsius that I drink like pre-workout, right? But I have to have something else aside from water. So this is where I get these type of drinks, all right? And I also got these today. So, and then I'm going to try this one. This one was one that was on sale. I've never had it before, but it's called Savani or Savannah. Savani. Yeah, the A is long, should be. All right, a French word, I believe, or it might be Italian. I don't know. But anyway, these look really chic, and so I decided to try these because I'm going to drink them if I have to add flavoring to them, you know, the little Mio flavorings, but these are those. And so I got one case of these, and then I got 2 cases of the clearly Canadian, so that I can have that. And then I also drink the prebiotics, right? The poppies and things like that. I have at least one of those a day because that helps with digestive system and things like that. And so that's always good for you. But yeah, but this is my haul. This is my haul. So this right here, along with the things that I already have in the refrigerator, this whole everything I think cost me about $140 for everything. No, minus the Jocko. I had to go back in and get that because I forgot about that the first time. I had to go to a different store to get that. So it cost me about $140 for everything, or 170 for everything. And like I said, some of it is already half. So in a perfect world, I would like for this grocery haul to last me for, I would say at least 10 days. And so so that means 5 times that I would probably go do like a $200 haul, because again, what I already have in the refrigerator and this. And so that's about $1,000 that I would spend in total. And so I'm going to keep track of that as well too, so that, you know, because again, some of the things I already have. And so when I have to restock everything or replenish it, I'll add that to it as well. And so anyway, if this is something that you want to do or you're interested in doing it with me, let me know down below, okay? Because like I said, for me, I tend to lose a lot of muscle. And so this time I really want to focus on cutting weight while hiring my protein so that I can add a lot of muscle, right? And so, yeah, I'm going to do a little different this time around and see what happens and see how the body transforms. And so, yeah. And so if you want to join me on this journey, just go ahead and let me know down below. And yeah, maybe we can communicate by email and I can tell you exactly what I'm doing from day to day. And I can send you the diet plan that ChatGPT made for me. And maybe you can go over to ChatGPT and give them the same prompts. And then that way you can have yours as well, right? And if that's something you want, just the prompt, let me know down below and I'll give you the prompt. And then that way you can get this as well. And, you know, hey, and that way we'll all be ready instead of us trying to figure it out come summertime to fit into those fine bikinis. We can get it done before then. All right. So listen, I am going to wrap this video up. And so, yeah, I wanted to do something different. And yeah, watch me. All right. Because again, I'm still a model, quote unquote, with an ambassador. And so I want to make sure I look my best when I go in there and represent for brands. Because when I tell you more brands are coming, more brands are coming from my lips to God's ears. All right. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.